While your neighbors are desperately cooking everything in their fridge before it spoils during the next power outage, you could be enjoying a cold drink and a perfectly preserved steak dinner. Most people think losing power means losing all their refrigerated food, but what if I told you there's a way to keep your fridge running for weeks or even months without the grid? In this video, you'll discover how to build a backup refrigeration system that costs less than $1,000, works continuously during outages, and actually saves you money year-round. I'll show you the exact equipment you need, how much power it really takes, and why the common advice about running your main fridge for a few hours a day could actually put your family at risk. Welcome to Crisis Horizon, where we turn uncertainty into preparedness. If you're ready to stop gambling with your family's food security, hit that like button and subscribe for more game-changing survival strategies. Let me start with a reality check that might shock you. The most common advice in preparedness circles about emergency refrigeration is not just ineffective, it's dangerous. You've probably heard it before. Just power your full-size refrigerator for a couple hours each day using an inverter connected to your car or a small generator. This sounds reasonable on the surface, but it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of food safety and energy requirements. Here's the problem with the cycling approach. Food safety guidelines are crystal clear. Once your refrigerator temperature rises above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, you've entered what experts call the danger zone. This is where harmful bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli multiply rapidly, turning your stored food into a potential health hazard. When you power your fridge for just a few hours and then turn it off, the internal temperature doesn't stay constant. It rises during the off periods, potentially reaching dangerous levels, then drops when you turn it back on. This temperature roller coaster doesn't just risk your family's health, it also degrades food quality, causing items to spoil faster than they would with consistent refrigeration. The vehicle dependency issue is even more serious than most people realize. Your car isn't just transportation, it's a critical component of your emergency response plan. When you use your car as a generator, running the engine for hours to power an inverter, you're putting significant strain on the alternator and draining the battery. If something goes wrong, you could find yourself with a dead vehicle right when you need it most to evacuate, seek medical attention, or gather supplies. In a real emergency, your mobility could be the difference between safety and disaster. Even if you avoid using your car and opt for a portable generator instead, you're still dealing with the same temperature fluctuation problems. Plus, generators require fuel storage, which brings its own safety and logistical challenges. They're noisy, which could compromise your security during certain types of emergencies, and most importantly, they don't solve the core energy problem. A standard full-size refrigerator consumes between 3,000 and 4,000 watt-hours of electricity every single day. That's an enormous amount of power that would require massive battery banks or continuous generator operation to maintain properly. But here's where most people get emergency refrigeration completely wrong. They assume they need to keep their entire main refrigerator running when the smart approach is exactly the opposite. Instead of trying to power a massive energy-hungry appliance, you should be thinking smaller, more efficient, and more strategic. The solution that changes everything is switching to dedicated backup refrigeration using a compact chest freezer and a mini fridge. These aren't just emergency appliances, they become part of your daily life, providing extra storage while dramatically reducing your backup power requirements. Let me show you the numbers that will blow your mind. A typical 5 cubic foot chest freezer uses approximately 218 kilowatt hours per year. Break that down to daily consumption, and you're looking at roughly 500 to 600 watt hours per day. A quality 2.6 cubic foot mini fridge adds about another 350 watt hours daily. Combined, this setup consumes around 850 watt hours per day. That's less than 1/3 of what your main refrigerator requires. This isn't just more efficient, it's the difference between a manageable backup system and an impossible energy challenge. The genius of this approach lies in the dual-purpose strategy. These appliances aren't sitting idle waiting for an emergency, they're working for you every day. Use the chest freezer for bulk meat storage, frozen vegetables, or ice cream. The mini fridge becomes your overflow space for beverages, condiments, or fresh produce. When disaster strikes, you simply transfer your most critical perishable items from your main fridge into these smaller units and switch their power source to your backup system. This transfer process is crucial and needs to happen quickly. The moment you lose power, your main refrigerator starts warming up. You have a limited window to move essential items like medications, dairy products, fresh meat, and anything else you can't afford to lose. But because you're powering small, efficient appliances, your backup system can run continuously, maintaining safe temperatures without the dangerous cycling that compromises food safety. The real-world power requirements make this approach practical for ordinary people with reasonable budgets. While your neighbors is trying to figure out how to generate 4,000 watt-hours daily for their main fridge, your efficient mini setup needs less than 900 watt-hours. This difference isn't just about numbers. It's about the difference between a system that actually works and one that fails when you need it most. Now let's talk about building a backup system that can actually deliver this power reliably. The foundation of any good emergency refrigeration system is proper energy storage, and this is where most people either overcomplicate things or cut corners in dangerous ways. For a basic emergency setup, you'll want to start with a single 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are the gold standard for backup power because they're safer than other lithium chemistries, can be discharged deeper without damage, and last significantly longer than traditional lead acid batteries. A 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery provides about 1,200 watt-hours of usable energy, which means it can run your mini fridge and chest freezer for approximately 24 hours. You'll also need a 600-watt inverter to convert the battery's DC power into the AC power your appliances require. Pure sine wave inverters are ideal, but modified sine wave units will work for basic refrigeration if budget is a concern. The beauty of this system is its simplicity. Keep your appliances plugged into the wall during normal operation, and when the power goes out, you simply switch the plugs to your inverter. But running for 24 hours is just a beginning. The real challenge is recharging your battery so you can keep going indefinitely. This is where solar power becomes your best friend, but you need to understand the realistic requirements. A single 100-watt solar panel sounds impressive, but it will only partially recharge a 100 amp hour battery even under ideal conditions. For reliable daily recharging, you need at least 200 watts of solar panels, and 300 watts is even better for cloudy days and seasonal variations in sunlight. The game-changing approach is implementing a 2-battery rotation system. While one battery powers your appliances, the second battery is recharging from solar panels or an alternative source like a generator or even your vehicle's alternator, used carefully and briefly. Every 24 hours, you swap the batteries. This rotation allows for truly indefinite operation, limited only by your ability to generate or store energy. For those ready to commit to a permanent, robust solution, a properly designed solar-powered system becomes a daily use asset that pays dividends year-round. Picture this setup. 2 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries providing 2,400 watt-hours of storage, 3 100-watt solar panels generating up to 300 watts during peak sun, a quality charge controller to manage the charging process safely, and a 600-watt inverter to power your appliances. This system can run a mini fridge and chest freezer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During normal operation, the batteries typically discharge only 25 to 30% overnight and fully recharge by mid-afternoon. Even during cloudy weather, 2 panels can usually provide enough energy to maintain operation, though you might need to be more conservative with other electrical loads. The safety considerations are absolutely critical and non-negotiable. Every connection in your DC system must be properly fused to prevent fires in case of shorts or equipment failure. The good news is that modern battery systems often include built-in battery management systems that prevent overcharging, over-discharging, and other potentially dangerous conditions. But proper fusing of the connections between batteries, inverters, and charge controllers is your responsibility and could save your life. The modular nature of these systems means you can start small and expand over time. Start just with the chest freezer for daily use and add the mini fridge later. Start with 1 battery and add a second when your budget allows. Install 1 solar panel initially and add more as you see how the system performs in your specific location and usage pattern. Let's talk realistic costs because this might be more affordable than you think. A complete system with both appliances, batteries, inverter, solar panels, and charge controller will run somewhere around $1,000, possibly a bit more depending on the specific components you choose. However, you don't need to spend this all at once. Start with the appliances themselves. A good chest freezer costs $200 to $400, and a quality mini fridge runs $150 to $300. These provide immediate daily value and establish your emergency refrigeration capacity. Add the backup power components incrementally. A 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery costs $300 to $500. A 600-watt inverter runs $100 to $200. Solar panels cost roughly $100 to $150 per 100-watt panel, and a charge controller adds another $50 to $100. Build the system in phases as your budget allows, and you'll spread the investment over time while gaining capabilities at each step. The practical implementation is designed to be as simple as possible. During normal grid operation, your backup appliances run just like any other appliance in your home, plugged into regular wall outlets. They're providing daily value as overflow storage for your main refrigerator. When the power goes out, you unplug them from the wall and plug them into your inverter. If you set up your system properly, this transition takes less than a minute and your food never enters the danger zone. Your food transfer strategy should be practiced and refined before you need it. Identify which items from your main refrigerator are most critical. Medications that require refrigeration, expensive proteins, dairy products, and anything else that you can't afford to lose. Have a plan for what goes where and execute it quickly when an outage begins. The longer you wait, the more your main refrigerator warms up, reducing the effectiveness of the transfer. Battery monitoring is crucial for long-term success.
A simple battery monitor shows you exactly how much energy you're consuming and how much capacity remains. This information helps you make informed decisions about energy use and tells you when it's time to recharge. Most modern LiFePFO4 batteries can handle being discharged to 20 or 30% of capacity without damage, but staying above 50% gives you more safety margin and extends battery life. The real-world value of the system extends far beyond emergency preparedness. Every day, you benefit from extra refrigerator and freezer space. You can take advantage of bulk purchases, store seasonal produce, keep extra beverages cold for entertaining, or maintain a larger selection of frozen meals for convenience. The system pays for itself over time through these daily benefits, making the emergency preparedness aspect essentially free. When disaster does strike, whether it's a severe storm, equipment failure, or planned rolling blackouts, your backup system keeps your family comfortable and your food safe. You're not joining the neighborhood barbecue to cook everything before it spoils, and you're not limited to crackers and canned goods while everyone else scrambles for solutions. Your meals remain normal, your beverages stay cold, and your family maintains a sense of stability during uncertain times. For families dealing with medical needs, this system can be literally life-saving. Insulin, certain antibiotics, and other refrigerated medications require consistent temperature control. Having reliable backup refrigeration means these critical medical supplies remain viable throughout extended outages, eliminating dangerous gaps in treatment. The psychological benefits are just as important as the practical ones. When you know your food is safe and your family's basic needs are met, you can focus your attention and energy on other aspects of emergency response. You're not constantly worried about spoilage or running out of safe food to eat. This peace of mind allows you to think more clearly and make better decisions during stressful situations. Building your backup refrigeration system is one of the most practical and immediately beneficial preparedness investments you can make. Unlike some emergency preparations that hopefully never get used, this system provides value every single day while standing ready to protect your family when the grid fails. The technology exists, the costs are reasonable, and the benefits are immediate. The question isn't whether you can afford to build this system, it's whether you can afford not to. Your family's food security, health, and comfort during emergencies depend on the decisions you make today. Start planning your backup refrigeration system now. Choose your appliances, research your power components, and begin building the energy independence that will serve your family for years to come. Because when the lights go out and your neighbors are watching their food spoil, you'll be enjoying a cold drink and a perfectly preserved meal, knowing you made the smart choice. Thanks for watching Crisis Horizon. If this video opened your eyes to better emergency refrigeration strategies, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical preparedness solutions. What backup refrigeration approach are you considering? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video where we tackle another critical preparedness challenge.